Da, 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 da. Yea, verily, fellow subjects of the land of test, I be Sir 1337 of the kingdom of Aperture Science. While they make it, we test it, and you play it. And it is time to be blowing off some steam, as Aperture Gaming is proud to present a B.O.S. review. For those of you wondering why I'm talking in ye old fancy times and wearing medieval garb, the game I'm reviewing, well, it does feature a character in a suit of armor of knights. And I use the word game, which I should not be, because I'm reviewing a product, because this thing is not really a game. What is it? Well, let's get into the review, shall we?
Series.
The product that I am reviewing today is called Hammer of Virtue. It was released to Steam on August 7th of 2023.
Team.
The team behind this product was developed by B.O.S.S Productions and published by Jens Kolhammer. I'm hoping I pronounced it right. It's Kolhamar.
Plot.
The tissue-thin plot of the game is that in about 100 years from now, the Earth, all the countries and stuff will unify into one united super mega country, kind of like Pangea 2.0, or for those of you that remember, Time Squad. That's what kind of happened. Unfortunately, even though peace and prosperity and all the other good stuff has gone up, there still seems to be some problems. There's a scientific terrorist organization who are conducting these weird experiments for reasons, because, well, plot reasons. They have all these creatures and minions and stuff with them that are armed with some kind of unbreakable armor, but by pure luck we were able to scavenge enough armor to make your own suit of armor and a hammer to combat them with. So now you have to go and fight these guys. So fight fire with fire, or in this case, fight unbreakable armor with unbreakable armor.
Gameplay controls.
The gameplay controls, well, okay, so yeah, the controls are you move around and you control whether you swing with the left attack, right attack, overhead, or underhand. And then you have to hold down a button to figure out a block if you're blocking from left, right, or overhead. And you can lock on to targets and switch between targets to figure out who you're attacking. And one thing which I found incredibly weird was the tutorial part of the game. How to move, how to lock on, combat, and whatnot. It was the third level of the game. Yeah, so the first two levels were just expected to. Yes, we can look at the control section, but it's weird how the tutorial was the third stage offered for this game. Now, the game was advertised how you could use the game. It's supposed to be a physics-based engine game, where you smack a tree stump and it goes flying off in some direction, or you knock over a building and it falls down, or you hit a car, but it uses the flying debris of stuff to help you take out enemies. But that's the thing. We'll get to that in a few moments.
Graphics.
Okay, the graphics. This is kind of a weird thing. The graphics, the suit of armor looks good, and at first I couldn't tell where the health bar was, but you'll see there's a green bar on the back of the suit of armor, and if you get hit, it starts to slowly go down. Couldn't see that at first, but then I was like, oh, there it is. In the upper right-hand side of the screen is a radar, which is just a very bare minimum radar that shows where the enemies are. And then you have the enemies. The models look all right, but the movement seems a little funny. Same for the main character, but I guess walking around in a suit of armor that has limited mobility. As for the environments, you have forest, and then you have a neighborhood, and I swear the neighborhood, it kind of reminds me of the first Destroy All Humans game. The neighborhood is just, everything, it looks good, but it looks too good. It's oh, this house and this neighborhood stuff is just all abandoned in pristine order. And when you smash it, it breaks in a clean way, so it's eh. So things look alright, but nothing looks overly dirty, and when stuff is destroyed, it breaks too clean, if that makes sense. I'll cover that in just a moment.
Audio.
The audio yes, there's some speaking parts for some both in-game and for the opening cinematic, very minimum cutscene. And as for sound effects, like you walk around, and because when you hit, almost everything has like the same generic sound of being hit. And then there's some stuff where you should be hearing something, but you don't. Like you see something flying, but you don't hear any propulsion or engine or whatever. So like the sound variety is lacking, and sometimes sound is just straight up lacking. And as for the music, it just seems like generic rock. Like if I was to guess, I'm wondering if they just fired up a GarageBand app or some other random music thing just to get like the very bare minimum music. Kind of like I'm admitting to how I'm just using open source music to help add to the audio effects for my videos. So I guess I can't really comment too much on that without being deemed a hypocrite.
Multiplayer.
This game can be played either solo or two-player.
DLC.
As far as I can tell, no, there is no DLC for this product.
Issues.
Alright, so as I kind of hinted at, this product is issues, and if you've noticed, I've been using the word product because I can't really call this a game. I slipped maybe once or twice and called it a game, but yeah. So, yeah, I won't say it's a game, but more like game developers' first physics engine. It looked like it was going to be something where, like I said, you smack a tree and it flies into an enemy. That looks pretty cool, but no, everything. Like there was one level where I was doing a test run of this. I smacked this pile of beams. They all fly around, and one of the beams literally hits into a guy, one of the enemies, and they're just standing still. It does not affect them whatsoever. I've even tried getting them to all run into a building and knock around support beams to have the building fall on them and crush them. Again, that doesn't work. So, and now while you hit some enemies, they don't go flying. So if an enemy hits you, you somehow defy every known law of physics and fly 20 yards into the air and 50 yards in whatever direction they smacked you. So the physics are off. Again, the audio, sometimes it's lacking, and sometimes it just sounds the same, and again, the generic rock. And while the character models do look good, movement just seems to be bad for like the main character. Yeah, so I think this game promised us the moon, the sun, and the stars, but all we got was a kaleidoscope. This product, I'm hoping it needs updates because honestly, after the Lord of the Rings Gollum game, I was hoping I wouldn't encounter one of these, get another one of these kinds of products again, but unfortunately, I have.
Buy, rent, or pass.
Currently, I cannot condone buying this game or even renting this game product. Right now, I'd say that this is a pass. And the sad thing is how the team that produced and developed this game, they've worked on 2 other games, which according to Steam have actually gotten some pretty positive reviews, and both were night-centric. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see how third time was not the charm.
Overall score.
Like I said, it's sad how I encountered yet another lackluster product on Steam. I mean, this is a good chance for people to try their materials out and, see if it works out or not. And on this channel, I have actually played something that wasn't even a game. It was a product. It was the Steam Engine Simulator, and that got a higher score than this. Because this one, yeah. Hopefully after a couple of updates, it'll be up to snuff. But for right now, I cannot give this a ringing endorsement. I am sad to say that the Hammer of Virtue gets a 4 out of 10. Yeah, so now this and the Lord of the Rings Gollum are currently the 2 lowest scoring products that I have reviewed for this channel. And I apologize for that. So in light of that, I am going to be reviewing something, I'm going to be hopefully playing something a little more fun and reviewing that later on. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. I apologize for how, but yeah, that's why you have to give the word out, because this game was lousy, and fortunately I'm not the only one that agrees that this product was not up to snuff. So I thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been Test Subject 1337 for Aperture Gaming, and I thank you very much, and I'm glad we got a chance to blow off some steam together. Thank you for watching. As always, game on, and have a nice day.